Hello, it's lunchtime. I'm reheating my food, and then I think after eating, I'm gonna give you a little tour of all the printers at this house and what I use them for and how I print, different things. So, yeah, because a lot of you have asked how I do the little thumbprint photos, and I'll show you in a little bit. Bye.
Oh my god, this cheese and onion thing.
Hear that? That's why I can't do the printer thing. Maybe we'll save that tomorrow. We'll see. But I'm gonna spend the rest of my break horizontal and scrolling on TikTok. Ooh, it stopped. Oh man. Okay, maybe I'll record in like 5 minutes. Darn it. Wanted to be horizontal. Hello, welcome to Job's printer guide. The first printer we have here is the Canon G6020, and it is one of my favorite printers that I've ever owned. This is actually the second one that I've owned. The other one is back home in Canada, and I cannot recommend it enough. It is a eco tank printer, aka it actually has 4 ink tanks that you fill up when you're out of ink. The largest reservoir is reserved for black, and then you have cyan, magenta, and yellow, which are smaller but the same size. And it usually takes, I don't know, maybe like a year to finish or even more, depends on how much you print. But I think in Canada I've only switched the ink out or filled the ink out maybe once in terms of all of the tanks, once. And I've owned that printer for maybe 2 years, 3 years almost. And this one is brand new and it's going really well. There's 2 paper feeds. There's the main rear feed over here, and this is the main feed, and then this is the rear feed over here. And it can take various sizes of paper. This has A5 paper right now, but you can do regular US letter. And the nice thing about this is that it has a scanning bed as well. So I use this for when I'm printing any printables from other shops, as well as my own printables from Patreon, or like the free December daily printable. And the print quality is amazing. Like, it is a pretty high quality print, and I'm pretty sure other sticker shops on Etsy and like other e-commerce sticker shops, smaller sticker shops, print their own stickers on the Canon Pixma printers. The Canon Pixma 100 was like my dream printer. It can print high quality photos, almost I would say, I don't want to say like actually no, it is like professional quality. This is not like super top of the line, but it is up there in terms of price. In the US, I believe I bought this for $250, and then Canadian dollars, I think I bought mine originally for about $400, so it is pricey. But if you are printing a lot, it is super versatile. The colors are super vibrant and vivid, and especially, printing is basically a science. There's so many factors that play into it. Your paper, your settings, the actual file, if it's the right format, if it's CMYK or RGB. There's so many different factors that play to color accuracy when printing. But for the most part, if you are wanting, very vibrant, true to file colors, I would look into the Canon G06. Wow, which is the number? Canon G6020, 6020. And I've recommended this many times to people, but I guess people forget which printer I use, but this is my preferred printer. Again, I've owned this twice and I really like it. And in terms of use cases, I print this when I am, again, printing printables. And if I'm printing photos for my journal, I actually just format it to be very small pictures. You can print like a huge photo if you want. If you want a full A5 size photo in your A5 journal, you can print that out. It's all about how you format it on the page. And you can use more beginner software like Canva, I've used Photoshop to format all of my photos when I'm printing a large amount of photos, and that's how I get that thumbnail photo look, like the super small thumbprint sized photos in my journal. But this only works, I only print this out when, you know, it's an event or a travel journal where I have a lot of photos that I want to print. I'm not going to print photos on this printer if I only have like 1 or 2 photos I want to print, because look at the paper, it's huge, and you don't want to waste paper too. You can actually print on A5 or half letter, which is the half size of US letter, so it's almost A5. If you want to save, you know, some paper. I used to do that in the past, but even if I want to print 1 or 2 photos, it's still too big. So I only reserve this printer for larger prints like this, or larger printables, or if I'm doing a mass printing of photos for a journal or for a project. But I'll show you my other 2 printers that I have when I want to print smaller photos. Okay, part 2 of the printer series. So this is the smallest printer that I own, and this is basically a thermal printer that you can find anywhere these days. It uses zinc technology, and most of these use the same type of paper refill, which is zinc paper, and it's heat reactive, so there's actually no ink that's being printed on the actual sheet of paper. The ink is already in the paper, and the image actually develops by using heat to, you know, get that image onto the paper. This is very different from, you know, the inkjet printer behind me, because it uses, you know, liquid ink, and the other printer that I'll show you also uses ink in a very cool way, but this just uses zinc paper and heat to develop the photo. I'm doing air quotes right now. This exact printer is the LG Pocket Printer. I've owned this since 2016, so it's coming into like almost 10 years in 2026. I bought this in Korea, and I haven't actually been able to find the exact LG print zinc paper, but I just use any proprietary zinc paper. And if you've, you know, done any research in smaller mini printers, the zinc paper technology is something that you've probably come across. These are very convenient, they're portable, they're tiny, and the prints are relatively cheap. And there's usually a blue sheet of paper in each of the zinc papers that help them calibrate to the actual machine that you're printing with. And that's always important when printing with these things, because it can get really finicky with these printers. There can be a lot of color shifting and a lot of discrepancies in the contrast of your photo, and you have to scan the calibration card that comes with your, you know, pack of zinc paper maybe multiple times if you're having errors with your printing. Overall, I think this is a really good portable choice. I'm still looking for something to replace this. This has served me well for the past almost 10 years, but I, to be honest, haven't been using it much, because I do like to print a lot of photos within a week, and sometimes I can batch print photos when I'm working in my journal, and I think another option is better for me. But I'm still looking for something like this, because this would be great for travel, and I want to look into something that's a little bit more updated, and something that actually has ongoing support in terms of software, because this is a very old machine and LG hasn't really updated the software, and it's very archaic. It still works, honestly, and I still use random after party zinc paper brands, but yeah, the color accuracy is not great, and the print quality is not as crisp as you would get with this printer behind me, the Canon G6020, or even other like handheld or portable printers like the Canon selfies, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But this is the LG Pocket Printer. It's a zinc printer, and I would say this is on the bottom of my list of printer recommendations, just because if you value color accuracy and quality in terms of your prints, the zinc paper just does an all right of getting like a the actual vibe of the photo, but not the actual nuances of the photo. So that's my only heads up. I still love it, and I think it's very accessible, and you can get these on sale for very cheap. But there are definitely better options if you're looking for better print quality and looking for portability. Hi, this is the last printer. This is the Canon Selfie. This is actually the model CP1300, and it's a little bit of an older model, but I got this for free from a friend. Shout out to Jackie, Broken Halo 81, for gifting it to me. This printer can actually be used in multiple ways. It can be plugged in like it is right now, and it can actually be used with a battery pack, and it can be a little bit more portable for you. I like this printer because it uses CMYK printing technology. So as you saw in the example earlier, it printed 4 layers of ink. It worked from, I think it was yellow, then magenta, then blue. And then there's a clear protective coating as well as black, I think. No, I think it is just a protective coating. That's the last coating. And it is really high quality. It is printed on pretty standard photo paper. It's usually gloss, like a matte gloss or plain gloss, or it really depends on what paper you buy. But this uses actual ink, and it prints in layers, and it uses 4x6 papers that have these perforated pieces right here. I'm just tearing it off right now. That help the printer actually grip onto this paper, so it can print on the 4x6 photo paper without any seams or any borders. It can do a borderless print, which I think is really cool. This printer actually takes different types of papers as well. It can take like card size refills. It's kind of harder to find those online now, but it actually just uses a different little bed to insert that type of paper. But you could interchange the different beds to fit the different paper stocks that it takes. This actually uses like an ink roll almost that you have to change pretty, I don't want to say often, but I think it is 30 prints or so allotted to one ink roll, and you buy the paper and the ink together as a bundle. So you can't really just buy the paper or the ink. I'm sure you can if you look hard enough, but usually they're sold in sets, and it's perfect because the amount of paper that goes into that pack is how much ink there is that can print on the paper. So if you're buying a pack of ink and paper, that's how much you can print using that pack of ink and paper. So yeah, it's like a foolproof way of printing, I guess. I guess the only thing is that it's a little bit more costly. I actually didn't do any of the math in terms of like cost per print, but I thought that this is more about the vibes and the print quality, and I would say that this is really good quality. It's pretty much as good as you can get in terms of like an at-home Wi-Fi or Bluetooth based printer. It's definitely kind of, I would say, better than drugstore quality. It really depends on if you're printing your photos at a drugstore, but if you're going to an actual photo print lab, it's not going to compare to that, obviously. None of these printers that I've showed you can compare with any like professional photo laboratory or film lab that's scanning film and printing it, and also just regular printers or like fancy photo printing shops. This is definitely for at-home use, but it's beautiful enough to use if you're just into making albums, photo albums, and not journaling with your photos. The quality is great. The nice thing about the selfie, Canon Selfie, is that you can use the app, and I can create collages like this one, and this is all built into the app. So if you see any thumbnail print photos, this is how it's done. I even use a collage app on my phone. I think I use PicFrame, and I actually do one that has, I think it is maybe 12. I think there's one where I have 6 on each row, or even 10 photos. So it's 5 on one row and 5 on the other, or 6 on this row and 6 on this row. if you want even smaller and narrower thumbnail prints. But it really depends on your preference, and I think it's really cool that you can customize so much with just a 4x6 sheet of photo paper. I think this is the perfect happy medium if you're looking at, you know, both of the options that I showed earlier. Obviously, this one's not as portable. It still is portable in the sense that you can put a battery pack, but it definitely isn't the size of a smartphone or, you know, a smaller camera. This is like lugging around an actual machine around. So do bear that in mind. And yeah, I hope this helped. I use all of these options interchangeably. Lately I've been using this more for December Daily because we've been printing photos maybe every day or every other day, and so if I haven't printed photos for 2 days, this is more than enough photos for the past 2 days. Even I would say if you just use like 1 or 2 photos a day, this could be like 4 days if you're really you know, conscious about how much you know, photos you're using or how many photos you're using in a journal spread. But yeah, I really like the quality of the selfie, and obviously there's different Canon selfies out there now. There's smaller ones, like I'm really looking into the square size because again, that's smaller and it's a little bit more portable, and that one's good if you want to journal on the go as well. There's also Instax printers, but those are definitely more niche, and you can only really print 1 photo in that because you can't really cut the print up, but it does look so nostalgic and really nice. So I don't have an Instax printer. I have an Instax Polaroid camera, but I do want to get a printer in the future because I think it is a good investment, and it's a nice way to add a little bit of nostalgia into your journal pages. But as of now, these are my printers. This is my beloved one, and I hope this helps if you're trying to decide what kind of photo printer you want to get for your home or for your journaling or planning practice. Okay, back to the regular scheduled video. I should really go back to work now. Hey everyone, thank you for joining me for December Daily Day 11. I know this video kind of cuts at a weird part of the day. It kind of just ends right after we do the printer portion, and a large part of that is because I decided to edit out a bunch of stuff towards the end of the day just because there was a really negative energy in all of the clips, and I just had a really frustrating afternoon. Today was the release day of the TRC USA Road Trip Traveler's Notebook, which was highly anticipated, and it sold out really quickly. And it's great for, you know, us, and it's super exciting, but a lot of people are obviously disappointed that it sold out super fast. But the nice thing is, if you're watching this, there's like 3 more restocks planned for the following next few months. So there's a restock in December and 2 in January, and there's going to be more too. So if you are one of the people that were sad that it sold out, it's going to be back, and there's going to be more than enough for everyone that wants it. So I hope, you know, you aren't too bummed, but because of that, a lot of people have been messaging on Instagram about it, and yeah, I feel like people are just overstepping their, I guess, not their welcome, but I don't know, like people see that, you know, I guess it's part of the whole thing. Like, I've posted my life and my job, and so people are reaching out to me in the hopes that they can, you know, find a way to grab the Traveler's Notebook. But that's honestly really crazy. Like, I have my own personal life on Job's Journal. It's separate from what I do at work, and asking for help or trying to get customer service help through my personal Instagram is ridiculous. And I just had like a really one big negative experience, and it kind of just like shattered my, I don't know, my outlook for the rest of the afternoon and evening. And it kind of snowballed. Like, I also ordered Uber Eats, and then the food never came, and I got so hangry. Obviously, I got a refund, but I was so hungry, and so I ordered food again, and it came, and everything worked out. But yeah, there was just small hiccups, and like one of the articles that I worked on was deleted from the plotter websites, had to re-upload it. Like, it was just all of these things building up, and I just felt like I was, putting out very negative energy in those video clips. So I hope you understand why it didn't make it onto, this vlog. But I am, finishing off the day on a positive note. I really enjoyed this journal spread. It's very straightforward. I kind of just added the date and a little picture from when we did our little printing session today. I printed out the photo of the traveler's notebook, road trip TN, and that's it. And then I realized, like, you know what, I printed those photos for the example today, and those are photos from yesterday. So I ended up going back and doing a little bit of journaling in the other side of the spread, or other side of this like pocket tip-in that we made yesterday. And I just added the photo of the Home Alone movie poster and the photo of the salmon that we made. And yeah, I ended up enjoying that I could add some decorations to this pocket, as well as to journal more about the previous day, because I realized, like, oh, we didn't add any photos, and I wanted to incorporate more movie posters, and we haven't really been watching any of the cheesy holiday movies, but I thought that since we did watch Home Alone, it would be fitting to print that out. But I think I'm gonna watch the Sabrina Carpenter music special on Netflix today, and kind of just chill out, because I don't want to dwell in the negative energy that I felt in the later half of the day. And if you're wondering, if you ever feel like you want a message about work or anything, like, I'm usually open to responding, but honestly, if it's about restocks, or like if you can get your hands on something, the biggest answer I can tell you is that I am really of no help, because I am but a mere designer on the team, and I don't have a special like allotment of TNs that can help get to your score for you. And I don't have control over anything, honestly, in terms of like if we ship abroad and whatnot. Like, a lot of people always say, like, oh, I wish you could ship to Europe or whatnot, but it's not my control. It's not anyone on our team's control, because we only deal with America and the US. That's the same thing, America and Canada. So yeah, I hope that clears anything. And honestly, like, if you were wondering if I get any special instances to shop from like Traveler's Factory, I don't really. I still have to join the same lottery systems in Japan, and I still need to go through the same channels. Like, if I want the Mossburger TN, I still have to ask my friends in Japan to help me get it. Like, it doesn't really change anything. So yeah, I hope that clears anything in terms of if you're wondering about the special treatment. Like, there's no such thing. And yeah, if you have any questions, please don't about the road trip TN, don't leave them in the comments below. Just read the blog post. Like, all of the information's in the blog post, and I'm not even gonna link it because you can look for it yourself. Sorry, I'm still a little bit bitter. Like, I don't know, we work so hard on these informative posts, and people never read them. So I'm gonna let you do the work if you need to look for any information, because that's what any informed shopper would do. Sorry, I'm just like scolding you like how I scold my kids. You didn't do anything wrong. I'm just anticipating that someone will ask something in the comments, and if you do, I'm just gonna delete it. Sorry. This is spicy Savage Joe, but Anyways, I hope you found the printer information useful, and let me know if you have any recommendations for any of the smaller Canon selfies. I kind of want to get a Canon selfie square. Like if you have any recommendations about that, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, if you made it this far into the video, leave a printer emoji at the bottom so I know that you're part of the end of video gang, and I will see you tomorrow. I think I have to go to the office tomorrow, so you will finally see a different setting outside of my small home. But I hope you're enjoying Vlogmas / December Daily. I know I don't live the most exciting life, but I hope that, it is a little peek into, how a lot of us spend our days, which is, a very humble life of working and eating good food and journaling. Okay, I love you so much. I'm sorry that I ranted, but it's good to let it out. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being my therapist this evening. Okay, I love you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.